In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. When the sky breaks apart.
See Surah At-Takwir, Ayah 19 for the Tafsir.
And when the stars fall scattering.
See Surah At-Takwir, Ayah 19 for the Tafsir.
And when the seas are erupted.
See Surah At-Takwir, Ayah 19 for the Tafsir.
And when the contents of graves are scattered.
See Surah At-Takwir, Ayah 19 for the Tafsir.
A soul will then know what it has put forth and kept back.
Commentary. Then one will know what he sent ahead and what he left behind. Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 5. In the preceding verses, Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 1-4 of the Surah, Allah depicts the scene of the Day of Judgment, that when the sky splits, the stars fall, the seas are poured forth, i.e. the fresh and salt-water bodies will merge to form one mass of water, and the graves are overturned, i.e. corpses will emerge from their graves. Every soul shall come to know what it had sent ahead, and what it had left behind. The phrase "what he sent ahead" means the good or evil act which he has done in his life, and the phrase "what he left behind" means what he failed to do or refrained from doing. It is also possible that what he sent ahead refers to the acts he has done himself, and what he left behind refers to the acts one has not done himself, but he has laid down a custom in the society. The Holy Prophet is reported to have said, "If anyone establishes a good tradition in Islam, he will have a reward for it, and the equivalent of the rewards of those who act upon it after him, without theirs being diminished in any respect. But he who establishes a bad custom in Islam will bear the responsibility of it, and the responsibility of those who act upon it after him, without theirs being diminished in any respect." This subject was dealt with earlier under the following verse. Man will be informed of what he sent ahead, and what he left behind. Surah Al-Qiyamah, Ayah 13.
O mankind, what has deceived you concerning your Lord, the Generous?
O man, what has deceived you about your gracious Lord? Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 6. The opening of the surah mentions the violent events that will take place at the end of this worldly life, and the current set of verses reminds us of the inceptive stages of our creation. The sum total of the verses purport to say that if man had considered carefully, he would have believed in Allah and His Messenger, and he would not have deviated a hair's breadth from divine injunctions, but he slumped into heedlessness and forgetfulness. In the present verse, he is reprimanded by a rhetorical question, and by means of gentle remonstrance, as to what has lured him away from his gracious Lord, and led him to disobedience, despite he knows his beginning, and he knows his end. The verse further goes on to remind man of the inceptive stages of his creation. First it says, "Who created you and perfected you." Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 7. The sense is that not only did Allah create man, but he also perfected his creation and proportioned his body, limbs and organs. Every limb and organ is well placed. The body, height, length, and breadth of every limb are kept in harmony, symmetry, and balance. Any deviation from the symmetrical construction of the human body, the organs will become dysfunctional. Then the verse says, "and brought you in due proportion." Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 7. Man is granted such symmetry, harmony, and balance that no other animal in the world is granted to that degree. Along with physical and physiological symmetry and harmony, he has been granted well-balanced disposition, despite the fact that man is made up of opposing humors: blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile. Some are hot and others are cold, and yet the perfect wisdom of Allah prepared a well-balanced disposition. Thereafter a third characteristic is mentioned as follows.
Who created you, proportioned you, and balanced you.
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 6, for the Tafsir.
In whatever form He willed has He assembled you.
He composed you in whichever form He willed. Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 8. This is to indicate that since the basic structure of all human beings is the same, it was expected that the zillions of members of the human society would have shared the same shape, size, and features. But the perfect mastery and the wonderful acumen of the Supreme Creator has created them so differently that each one of them has its own unique features that make him clearly distinct from all others, and no one is confused with another. Having stated the creative acumen of the great Creator, the verse states, "O man, what has deceived you about your gracious Lord?" Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 6. Allah has endowed man with such natural faculties and abilities that every limb and every joint of his body was enough to remind him of his Creator and to make him obedient. but he is lured away from his gracious Lord, has forgotten him and disobeyed him. The question is, how did he forget his Lord? How did he become heedless of him? And how is he lured away from his Lord? On this occasion, the adjective karim, gracious, used for the Lord points to the answer. The reason for such an ungrateful attitude is that Allah is gracious and does not punish man immediately after his committing a sin. Rather, his sustenance, welfare and well-being, and worldly comforts and pleasures are not curtailed. He misinterprets Allah's magnanimity, and thus falls into deception. If man were to think rationally, he would adopt a grateful attitude and obedient behavior, rather than adopting an ungrateful attitude and impudent behavior. Sayyidina Hasan al-Basri, may Allah have mercy on him, says, how many humans are there whose faults are put by Allah under cover, i.e., He did not disgrace them, yet they do not appreciate and are deluded by His grace.
No, but you deny the recompense.
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 8, for the Tafsir.
And indeed, appointed over you are keepers.
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 8, for the Tafsir.
Noble and recording.
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 8, for the Tafsir.
They know whatever you do.
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 8, for the Tafsir.
Indeed, the righteous will be in pleasure.
Surely the righteous will be in bliss, and surely the sinners will be in hell. Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 13 to 14. These two statements are connected with verse Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 5 above. Then one will know what he sent ahead and what he left behind. The verse informs us that each person, on the day of reckoning, will know what he has done and what will be the consequences of his deeds. Present verse says that the righteous will be in perfect bliss, while the sinners will be in a blazing fire of hell.
And indeed, the wicked will be in hellfire.
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 13, for the Tafsir.
They will enter to burn therein on the day of recompense.
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 13, for the Tafsir.
And never therefrom will they be absent.
And they will not be able to keep away from it. Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 16, the inmates of hell will never be able to get away from it, because the torment will be eternal. As the concluding verse of the surah asserts, a day when no one with his own free will in the plane of gathering will have power to do anything for another. This does not negate intercession, because that will not happen with one's own free will, unless Allah grants permission to someone to intercede on someone's behalf and then accepts the intercession. And all matters on that day will belong to Allah alone. Allah knows best.
And what can make you know what is the day of recompense?
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 16, for the Tafsir.
Then, what can make you know what is the day of recompense?
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 16, for the Tafsir.
It is the day when a soul will not possess for another soul power to do a thing, and the command, that day, is entirely with Allah.
See Surah Al-Infitar, Ayah 16, for the Tafsir.